This is you freaking out because you just got invited to an epic party with all of your buddies. Okay, maybe not that epic. The goal behind this video is to show you just how easy it is to mod cases and make a solid gaming case that is just as mobile as you are. Using some basic hand tools and a little patience, you can discover that anything is possible. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I know that everyone's seen those threads where they do ridiculous engine swaps, where they take very awesome engines and they swap them into mediocre at best cars. Well, this is going to be very similar to that, but with computers. My goal is to take this case, for whatever reason, and make it into an awesome computer by ripping out all these guts, modifying the hard drive cage, hopefully making it a little bit quieter with some sound deadening, and then we'll go from there. So there's the before, and then we'll see what it looks like after. Time for the fun part. So one of the things that I did do before is I actually 3D printed out this handle that I wanted to mount to the top of the case, where you see these very poorly drilled holes. And yeah, it's a lot easier to do it when the case is out. So if anyone wants to put a handle on there, I recommend drilling the holes when you have it taken apart like this. And then I have this file, you know, if anybody wants it, I can give them the STL and they can print it themselves. This was actually printed at 0.1 resolution, 40% infill with PLA, not ABS. So I'm gonna mount that right there. So this cage has got to go. Woo! And bingo, what's his name-o? Alright. It's time for some Plastidip. So, first problem that I'm experiencing right now is the bolts that I put in for the handle are actually interfering with a portion of the cage. So when I try and actually put it in, the holes don't line up, which is a real bummer. But I'll see what I can do. I kind of like the contrast of those white rivets. Doesn't look too bad. By the way, I intentionally did not spray paint that because I know it's just gonna peel off. So I don't know why I did this. But whatever. It's just a test, right? One of the last things I think I'm gonna need to do is peel off the Plastidip on these mounting pads, so that the motherboard can have a proper ground, because I don't think I want to insulate that portion. So I'm going to go ahead and get a razor blade and peel it up. Okay. This guy. Yeah.
We need help.
Okay, next problem. This guy won't go up into the channel because those screws are in the way. So I'm gonna have to improvise. Well, there we go. So it's in there. It's locked. Just had to cut a little bit off there because those big old bolts. Because once this thing's riveted together, this thing's very difficult to put in and out. Because I did take it out when I popped the rivets. So let's finish the story. One thing I really like about the Plastidip, you just score it a little bit, like so. It actually just peels right off. And there it is. It's not perfect, but it'll do. The cage that I modeled actually took a lot of key components from the original steel cage, and all I did was stack it. And as you can see here, I only had one failed test. 32 hours later, there it is. Second revision. And there it is. So it looks pretty good. So it is close, but not perfect. Anyways, well, let's bolt it in. So the screws I'm using for the front to go into the mounting holes here are actually very similar to your standardized, fan screws. And the screws I'm putting on the bottom are very similar to the threads that you would find on like the power supply screws, but they're countersunk, so they don't stick out of the bottom too much. This is not fun. That's solid. Moment of truth. There it is. Still a pretty decent amount of room. I'll get actual measurements on it in a little bit. Probably have that for you. But I'm not gonna lie, it does not look bad at all. Sweet!